are you? Good. Yeah. Oh, what?
Yeah.
From this bright hour and days to come, as we have gathered into one, open the gates and the light will shine all around. Let there be light. All are welcome, all invited to open hearts and open minds. In our living, in our learning, may we always be searching for truth and light. Wounds of the world begin to heal as peace with justice is made real. Open the gates and the light will shine all around. Let there be light. All are welcome, all invited to open hearts and open minds. In our living, in our learning, may we always be searching for truth and light.
Now is the hour, join in the song, here in this place where we belong. Open the gates and the light will shine all around. Let there be light.
All are welcome, all invited to open hearts and open minds. In our living, in our learning, may we always be searching for truth and light. Open the gates and the light will shine all around. Let there be light. All are welcome, all invited to open hearts and open minds. In our living, in our learning, may we always be searching for truth and light.
Good morning. Welcome to the First Unitarian Church of Hamilton on this Easter Sunday. My name is Tim Versteeg. My pronouns are he, him, and it is my great pleasure to serve this church as its religious educator. I will be your service leader this morning. Just a reminder to please turn off your phones and electronic devices unless you need to use them for our hearing loop system. And we thank the many people who are co-creating our service experience this morning, our interim minister, Reverend Jamie Boyce, our music ministers, Rachel Derry and the UU Hamilton Singers, three of whom you just heard, Marianne Forbes, Marianne Terpstra, and Joanne Cunnicliffe, and we will hear some others later, and I will announce them at that point. Our tech team, Brian Carey, John Elliott, and Claire Miles. Our worship associates, Susan and Ian Johnstone. Our ushers, Kathy Brown and Peter Morgan, and our greeters, Rita Mubarak and Madeline Verhosek. This morning on our CYRE cart, we have stickers and some little paper bags to create carriers for our egg hunt that will be in the gardens following the service. We also have some egg coloring sheets, UU themed. So please, if you are young or even young at heart, you may avail yourself to those supplies or anything else on the cart. A vital part of our lives together and our ministries to each other in the world is the sharing of news in our community. This morning we have a few announcements to share. For further information, please check the website and a weekly all-church email that comes out on Thursdays. From our worship team, as we look ahead to summer, because it's coming quick, the worship team will be scheduling lay-led Sunday services during the month of July. If you have an idea for a sermon, please contact the worship team. We have experienced mentors who will assist you as much or as little as you need. If you are a veteran speaker, a complete novice, or somewhere in between, we need your energy and ideas to make our summer services informative and transformative. Let us know your thoughts. And you can contact any member of the worship team or Reverend Jamie if you are interested in that. Zoomers and Boomers, please join us on Friday, April 5th at 1:30 p.m. for our monthly coffee social. We meet in Fellowship Hall, and this month Sue Johnstone will be talking to us about plants and gardening. There will be a hands-on activity and something for you to take home. Please RSVP if you're interested in attending so they have enough supplies for everyone. Anybody over 50 is welcome to attend. Contact Charlie Pond or Sue Johnstone with any questions or concerns. The Climate Action Team thanks everyone who has sent excellent recipes for their Climate Action cookbooklet, but the deadline is tomorrow, April 1st. So if you still have a recipe submit, please send that in so they can have them ready for the Earth Day service on April 14th. And finally, the next session of Mindful Mondays will be held at 2 o'clock on April 8th, which is the same day as the solar eclipse. So please join us for a quiet reflection and viewing of the eclipse in the church garden. All are welcome. Please bring your own chair and your viewing glasses. Yes, that's right, Daphne. I'd like to invite our CYRE co-chairs Tanya Collins and Grace Pollock to light our chalices today. Both of these folks were helpful in organizing what was a well-attended family event on Friday. We had more than 30 people here, so that was really exciting. And please join me in our unison words. May this flame be our light of friendship and love. Just stick it in. Thank you. Our land acknowledgement. The city of Hamilton is situated upon the traditional territories of the Erie, Neutral, Huron-Wendat, Haudenosaunee, and Mississaugas. The land is covered by the Dish with One Spoon Wampum Belt Covenant, which was an agreement between the Haudenosaunee and the Anishinaabe to share and care for the resources around the Great Lakes. Today, we are a city of 570,000 people, among whom are 17,000 citizens with Indigenous ancestry from across Turtle Island. The effect of settler colonialism is not a static entry in a history book. It is present in our life today. The responsibility of people with settler ancestry who continue to benefit from the land and its resources is to face the truth of our collective pasts and work for equity and justice in our present world. Only through truth can we hope to reach reconciliation. And I now invite you to greet your neighbors on this wonderful Easter morning, perhaps with a hand over your heart and saying that you're glad that they are here.
Good morning. It is good to be with you today. My name is Reverend Jamie Boyce. My pronouns are she, her, and I have the great privilege of serving this congregation as its interim minister. Welcome to those gathered here at 170 Dundurn and those gathered online. We are so glad you are here with us today. Thank you for joining our Easter celebration, an invitation to dwell and the possibility of hope, to adventure into a celebration that is both personal and communal. As we roll back the rock of winter and notice the soft heart of love and the shattering presence of hope in our lives. In the words of Elizabeth Strong, out of the earth rises light, rises life, rises spring. May we join with the miracle that is springtime and enter into life with lightness and joy. Out of spirit rises faith, rises hope, rises love. Let us rise up together this Easter morning to greet the call of our faith, opening our hearts and minds as we gather for worship on this glorious day. Please rise in body and spirit for our first song, number 266 in the gray hymnal. The words will also appear behind me. The green blade riseth.
Now the green blade riseth from the buried grain. We that in dark earth many days has lain. Love lives again, that with the dead has been. Love is come again, like with that spring is green. In the grave it laid him, loved by hatred slain, thinking it never he would wake again. Laid in the earth, like grain that sleeps unseen. Love is come again, like with that spring is green. When our hearts are wintry, green or in pain, love's touch can call us back to life again. Fields of our hearts that dead and bare have been, love is come again, like with that spring is green.
Our time for all ages today is a revisiting of an old Easter story. And it begins and ends with an African-American spiritual. For me, the image of the stone being rolled back from the tomb has been deeply ingrained in my imagination since I was young, thanks to one of my father's favorite artists, Johnny Cash, who recorded a song called "Were You There When They Crucified My Lord?" It's an African-American spiritual. It was first printed in 1899, likely composed by enslaved African-Americans in the 19th century. The song has a lot of recordings, including those by Mahalia Jackson, Paul Robeson, Marion Williams, Johnny Cash, Roy Acuff, Max Roach, and Harry Belafonte. And for those unfamiliar with the song, it builds to an intense crescendo when the singer asks, "Were you there when the stone was rolled away?" The Romans had quickly taken Jesus and the two thieves crucified on Good Friday down before the Jewish feast of Passover. Joseph of Arimathea asked Pilate for Jesus' body and arranged for it to be entombed. The tomb itself, we are told, was cut from solid rock, and stones used to close such graves at the time weighed many tons and were sealed with wax. In the New Testament Gospel of Mark, the women who had followed Jesus, Mary his mother and Mary Magdalene among them, went to anoint the body with spices they had prepared, and on the way they asked each other, and I thought this painting was such a wonderful depiction of this, who will roll away the stone from the door of the sepulchre? And upon arrival, to their amazement, they found the stone rolled away. And what happens next depends on which version you're reading of the story. In some, there was a young man sitting on the right side in a long white garment. In another, there were two men in dazzling garments. And the women, they say, were affrighted or terrified or afraid. And in another, Mary seeth two angels in white sitting, the one at the head, the other at the feet, where the body of Jesus had lain. And for Matthew, an angel of the Lord is said to have rolled back the stone. The implication is the rock's removal has been accomplished by a supernatural agent. But the answer to the question is a mystery. Who rolled back the stone? Were you there when the stone was rolled away? There really isn't an answer given to that question because nobody in the accounts was actually there. In the end, I'm not sure the mystery is really important to use in some ways because the question for us is about what happens after the empty tomb is revealed. This is the transformative moment. And transformation, as you can see from this Article 2 diagram, is still an important part of our religious identity. The tomb is empty, but what is a tomb or any grave except a place to gather physical memories so they can be carried away as living memories? Moving through grief with resilience, the empty tomb transforms into the stories of the Gospels, the apostles charged with carrying the good news to the world. As Unitarian Universalists, we still celebrate Easter because we have our own good news to carry with us as we work to create a better world. It's embedded in our 8 principles and embodied in the ways we live our lives. And the uncertainty of the empty tomb on Easter morning reminds us each year that as long as we know who we are, we can face the unknown by staying committed to our values. So in that spirit of hope and resilience, please rise and embody your spirit to sing hymn number 30, Over My Head, a traditional African-American spiritual first sung in the 19th century by those enslaved and whose message of hope still resonates with those who continue to work for the collective liberation of all people today.
I hear music in the air.
Join me for a time of contemplation, meditation, and prayer as we honor this morning Trans Day of Visibility. Perhaps this morning you might close your eyes, rest in your body, grateful for the breath grounding you in this holy place. Perhaps this morning you need a walking meditation, a time to slowly move and explore our space, following each step with mindfulness. Perhaps this morning your body would enjoy a swaying meditation, a time to hold your heart and soul lovingly inside a gentle movement. I offer this poem this morning from M. Jade Kaiser. It was written particularly for this occasion, Trans Day of Visibility. In a world that so boringly, so violently, so stubbornly insists on its stale and narrow gender rules and regulations, God themselves is a state of constant transition. Though many try to tame their wild, make them into the image of power, and fix them permanently to one static being, they are change in a world that loves control. They take our attempts at definitions and confuse them. They trouble our most basic assumptions about ourselves, the earth, each other, God, unwilling to stick to a single form for our comfortable comprehension, incapable of making themselves so flat. Their names are always changing. They are a multitude of incarnations, our deliverer from the status quo, our liberator from ordinary logistics of power, our invitation to live into the abundance of possibilities within and around us. What a blessing. Every trans child birthed onto us, precious glimpses, holy encounters, glorious invitations to recognize the image of God, the gifts of being and becoming so much more than what is placed upon us. The possibilities for living without losing parts of ourselves, the desire to be known and to know vulnerably, truthfully, entirely, alive in all of us. Now we light the candles of community. If you have a joy, a sorrow, a hope, a concern, you are invited to come forward and light a candle for us to hold in our collective care. This morning, we light 4 additional candles of love, noticing that the Easter holiday is occurring in a matrix of religious holidays this week. We light a candle for our Muslim neighbors who are in the middle of Ramadan, for our Hindu neighbors who celebrated Holi this past week, for Jewish neighbors who celebrated Purim this week, and for Christian neighbors who arrive at Easter after the Lenten season and the end of Holy Week. May the lights of our faiths shine brightly and boldly today and always. Now is the time in our service where we acknowledge the joys and sorrows of community, and I have a great joy to share with you this morning. It's from Melanie Parrish and Mel Rutherford. They share. We are so excited that Emerson was admitted to Oberlin Conservatory for fall of 2024. He was already admitted to Oberlin College, so it will be a dual degree program for 5 years. Congratulations, proud parents. And to Emerson, of course, too. I know that there are joys and sorrows among us that are too tender yet to share. We hold those in the presence of beloved community, recognizing and reminding ourselves that we are never alone, and we are here to journey with you through all of life.
Our offering is a reminder of the spirit of generosity, and this morning we are going to mark Easter Sunday with these offering words from the Christian New Testament, New International Version, Mark 16, 1-6. When the Sabbath was over, Mary Magdalene, Mary the mother of James, and Salome brought spices so that they might go to anoint Jesus' body. Very early on the first day of the week, just after sunrise, they were on their way to the tomb, and they asked each other, "Who will roll the stone away from the entrance of the tomb?" But when they looked up, they saw that the stone, which was very large, had been rolled away, and as they entered the tomb, they saw a young man dressed in a white robe sitting on the right side, and they were alarmed. "Don't be alarmed," he said. "You are looking for Jesus the Nazarene, who was crucified. He is risen. He is not here. See the place where they laid him. But go, tell his disciples and Peter, he is going ahead of you into Galilee. There you will see him just as he told you." From Jesus scholar John Crossan, "The kingdom of God is here, but only if you enter into it, only if you take it upon you. It's not like an empty building that's there whether you and I are in it. It's a community." And with that, we will collect our offering. Our offering music this morning, I meant to do this, I apologize, is in here somewhere, "Hard Times" by Stephen Foster, beautiful song, and our singers this morning are Ian Challenger, Derek Gamlin, Paul Hawkins, and George Zabaris.
Let us pause in life's pleasures and count its many tears, while we all sup sorrow with the poor. There's a song that will linger forever in our ears. Oh, hard times come again no more. 'Tis the song, the sigh of the weary, hard times, come again no more. Many days you have lingered around my cabin door. Oh, hard times, come again no more. While we seek mirth and beauty and music light and gay, there are frail forms fainting at the door. Though the voices are silent, the pleading looks so say, oh, hard times, come again no more. 'Tis the song, the sigh of the weary. Hard times, come again no more. Many days you have lingered around my cabin door. Oh, hard times, come again no more. There's a pale, drooping maiden who toils her life away with the worn heart whose better days are old. Though her voice would be merry, 'tis sighing all the day. Oh, hard times, come again no more. 'Tis the song, the sigh of the weary. Hard times, come again no more. Many days you have lingered around my cabin door. Oh, hard times, come again no more. 'Tis a sigh that is wafted across a troubled wave. 'Tis a wail that is heard upon the shore. 'Tis a dirge that is murmured around a lowly grave. Oh, hard times, come again no more. 'Tis the song, the sigh of the weary. Hard times, come again no more. Many days you have lingered around my cabin door. Oh, hard times, come again no more. Oh, hard times, come again no more.
Your gifts for the ministries of this church are appreciated. Thank you.
Did you know that the tradition of Easter egg hunts is attributed to the 16th century Protestant reformer Martin Luther? No, I didn't know that either. Martin Luther is said to have initiated the practice one Easter morning. Now, I have to confess that I got caught in a rabbit hole of trying to discover the exact historical factuality of this story, so I'm telling it in the sense that it's a legend. It's a legend. So according to legend, Martin had the men of the community hide the eggs on the church grounds early Easter morning, and then invited the women and children of the community to search for the eggs. This was a reenactment of the biblical story in which it is women who discover the empty tomb of Jesus on Easter morning. It is women that learn of the resurrection and are prompted to take their discovery into the world so that the teachings and lessons of Jesus might survive. It is women who initiate the beginning of the early Christian church, taking the good news to Jesus' disciples, who are, as you heard in Mark's account, not really present at the moment. Martin Luther's reenactment is itself an important interpretive moment. It reminds us that traditions we celebrate have significance. These exciting and fun-filled Easter egg hunts this weekend, we had two, one on Friday and one today at our congregation, have us searching for life in the presence of the violence of empire, the brutality of winter, seeking the transformation of the world, anticipating that new life will burst forth amidst the rubble of our troubled times. There is convergence and creation that emerges from the collisions of time and history. The annual Easter egg hunt has us searching for hope, collecting artifacts and evidence that life returns, awakens, and joy arrives, and we are stirred with delight once again. What strikes me as curious as we remember these stories and traditions is that we sometimes forget that this ritual of Easter is one that is deeply communal and collective. That while it is a story of rediscovering a spark of personal faith, the rolling back of the stone, it is also about discovering relationships and the learning and the leaning into the impulses to share the surprise, the hope, the love that overflows on Easter morning. While we each collect a lovely little egg nestled in a green blade of grass, somewhere it's green, is that rising up, pushing through the cool earth, we remember that we do this together as a community, allowing excitement and joy to ripple out among us. As Unitarian Universalists, I think it's important for us to reclaim an interpretive tradition of biblical texts. Interpretive practice is political practice, and when we visit Christian texts, we enter into a critical conversation that has implications beyond ourselves. It is itself a salvific act of resurrection and renewal. What might we notice if we attend to the Christian Eastern story of transformation and transfiguration, a story that is personal, political, and deeply relational? A story that invites us to imagine a God that loves the vastness and wonderfulness of the world, a God that invites us to love the possibilities of life, a God that calls us to action. There is a clear direction given to save this world. So let's dwell for a moment inside the Christian Easter story, Mark's version in the New Testament, and take notice of the events as they unfold. I hear the voice of my New Testament professor urging the class to pay attention to the text, explore an imagination of the text, and to keep asking, what happens next? It is in this spirit I invite us to connect with Mark's gospel. I wonder what it felt like for Mary Magdalene, Mary, mother of James, and Salome, who loved Jesus dearly, to arrive at the tomb. Prepared and equipped with spices to anoint Jesus' body, their hearts full and heavy with grief, traumatized by what they had witnessed just days before. The memories would be fresh still as they gathered and ventured out to the tomb together, themselves a holy resistance, a grieving, determined rebellion making their way back to Jesus. What comes next is extraordinary to me. They discover that the rock in the tomb has been moved, that Jesus is gone, and that their ministry has changed. They are now charged to carry the gospel forward and share it with the disciples and Peter. The empty tomb is not a finality, or it is a threshold. This is an Easter story that invites us into relationship and to move our relationships forward. This is an Easter story about creating community. What does this mean for us today on this Easter morning? What might we discover when we roll back the stone, when we gather in the presence of our own good news? Perhaps we are reminded that the story of Easter is alive in our community of mission and purpose, that each time we dedicate ourselves to nurturing each other, serving the community, and inspiring action that heals the world, we are the living embodiment of Easter, called to a collective commitment to transform the world with our love. When we remember the three women charged to take the gospel into the world, we remember that we are called similarly to ensure that our values and principles keep making a difference, speaking truth to power, opening towards change, and making real the kingdom of God right here and right now. As John Crossan reminds us, the kingdom of God is here, but only if you enter into it. Only if you take it upon you. It's not like an empty building that's there, whether you or I are in it. It's a community. May we, as Unitarian Universalists, be an uprising of faith as we harness hope and purpose, build the beloved community of love and justice, and communities of deep belonging. May we know that we are resilient and that we can meet each day with joy, and that we need not be alarmed. We have each other. May it be so. Amen, and blessed be. Please rise as body or spirit as you feel called for our song 270, Day of Light and Gladness. The words will appear behind me.
What thoughts within us wake
have before our benediction a message from Mel Rutherford from the Ministerial Search Committee.
I have an update for you from the Ministerial Search Committee. We were unable to find a suitable match in round one. I know this announcement will be disappointing to many of you. Our entire congregation engaged in our search in the first round, and we appreciate your efforts. The task of the Ministerial Search Committee is to find a candidate who will minister well to our congregation. That hasn't happened yet. Our committee is now collaborating with the board to discern what serves our congregation best at this point. Specifically, over the next week, the board will decide whether we're going to engage in round two. You can feel free to talk to me or any member of the search committee. Angela Morgan, Beverly Horton, Gail Rappold, Marianne Scanlon, Jennifer Reed, and Karen Trollope-Kumar. Members of our committee will be here during coffee hour. Members of our committee will be online for virtual coffee hour as well.
Be not afraid, we have each other. Go, beloveds, nourished in spirit, connected in community. May this Easter celebration remind us that we are called to create community together, resilient in spirit and fortified in love. We extinguish this chalice, but not the fire in our hearts until we meet again. Go in peace.
So we're going to sing The Rising. Well, I'm going to sing it, but you're going to join me on the la 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 parts, because I figure that's, and if you know it, feel free to join in the rest of it too. But it's pretty easy. It just la 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 la. At home too. La 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 la. See, pretty easy. You can do it. Can't see nothing in front of me. Can't see nothing coming up behind. Make my way through the darkness. I can't feel nothing but this chain that binds. Lost track of how far I've come. Yeah, how far I've gone and how high I've climbed. On my back's a 60-pound stone. On my shoulder, half a mile of line. So come on up for the rising. You can join me here. Come on up, lay your hand in mine. Yeah, come on up for the rising. Yeah, come on up for the rising tonight. Well, left the house this morning. Bells were ringing and filled the air, wearing the cross of my calling. On wheels of fire I come rolling in here. Come on up for the rising. Come on up, lay your hands in mine. Come on up for the rising. Yeah, come on up, lay your hands tonight. La 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 There's spirits above and behind me. Faces gone black, eyes burning bright. May that precious blood bind me. Lord, as I stand before your fiery light. Everybody, la 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 la. Woo! La 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 pictures of our children dancing in the sky filled with light. And may I feel your arms around me. May I feel your blood mixed with mine. Yeah, a dream of life comes to me, like catfish dancing on the end of a line. Well, sky of blackness and sorrow, sky of love, sky of tears, sky of glory and sadness, sky of mercy, sky of fear, yeah. Sky of memory and shadow, sky of mercy and sky of fear. Your burning wind fills my arms tonight. Sky of fullness, sky of blessed light. So come on up for the rising. Woo! Come and let me your hand in mine. Come on up for the rising. Yeah, come on up for the rising tonight. La 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 Woo! Thank you for joining me.
So if the kids would like to get their jackets on and meet us out by the gates to the garden.
Reenact.